Hey, what's up, guys? Coming to you today with another What's Next. This is on former world title challenger Michal Cieslak of Poland. He's currently my number 6 cruiserweight in the world right now in the 200-pound cruiserweight division. Cieslak is coming off of a hard-fought, close 12-round unanimous decision loss to Ilunga Makabu as he challenged for the vacant WBC world title. The fight was thrown together kind of last minute. It went to Africa, where Makabu's from, and it was a good fight. I mean, you know, I didn't get to see it, but from what I read, it was a very good fight. They went toe-to-toe, and Makabu walked out with a very close decision, the veteran. Cieslak was undefeated prior to that, and you know what? The WBC still sees him as their number 2 challenger. So the big question now, what's next for Michal Cieslak, the former world title challenger? Well, you know, let's run through the top 10 and see what possibilities are. We start with number 1 IBF champion Junior Dorticos. No chance of this one. Dorticos is facing Maris Bradis next in the World Boxing Super Series finals, so he would not face Cieslak next. Number 2 is Maris Bradis, the former 2-time champ. No chance of this one. He's facing Dorticos next in the finals of the World Boxing Super Series. Number 3 is former 2-time WBO champion Krzysztof Glowacki. No chance at this one either. Glowacki is competing for the vacant WBO belt in his next fight against Lawrence Okoli, so no chance of him and Cieslak. Number 4 is a rematch with WBC champion Ilunga Makabu. I wouldn't completely rule this fight out, but I don't think Makabu wants to just go right back into a Cieslak fight. I think it was a good fight. I think he'd probably stay away from it. At least at first, make an optional defense, see what else is out there, and then if he had to make a mandatory against Cieslak in a rematch, he probably would. So it's possible next, but I don't think it's going to happen. Number 5 is Noel Gavor, contender. You know, I wouldn't completely rule this fight out either, just from the standpoint that Gavor is ranked number 5 in the WBC, and I'm not sure who the WBC is going to mandate for a final eliminator, because I think it's really going to be based on what Makabu wants to do next, considering I think he's in optional mode right now, so he can pretty much do what he wants. So who's he going to face in his first defense? Once he decides that, I mean, he's going to have to face somebody in the WBC rankings once he decides what he wants to do, unless he's going for a unification bout with one of the other champions. I think he's going to have to face somebody ranked, and then they're going to go from there and order a final eliminator is what I think the WBC is going to do. So, you know, possible that Cieslak and Gavor could be colliding. I'm going to lean towards the less likely, but I do think it's possible. Number 6 is Cieslak. Number 7 is Russian contender Alexei Papin. This is a fight I wouldn't completely rule out either, especially if they do re-rankings and rank Papin a little higher. Right now in the WBC, I think he's ranked number 7 or 8. You know, Cieslak's number 2. So, you know, I wouldn't completely rule it out, because, you know, what's his name? Papin just fought Makabu about 5 months before Cieslak did. They fought in August of last year, 2019, and Papin almost beat him too. Papin lost a very close majority decision to Makabu in a WBC final eliminator. So now these two guys are going to collide, you know, and you know, they could collide. I'm leaning towards the less likely also, because I think Papin might be a little down there, but I wouldn't completely rule it out, because why not? It's another top 10 guy. Why not get together and see what can be done? But you know, we'll see. But I do think it's a possibility. Number 8 is former world title challenger Andrew Tabiti. I don't see Tabiti coming back from that knockout loss to Dorticos last year. By the time he comes back, it's going to be over a year off. I don't see him wanting to go in against a guy like Cieslak in his first fight out. Cieslak would be a full load, and I just don't see it. Number 9 is Kevin Lerena. Lerena's highly rated in the 2 governing bodies that Cieslak is not in. So I don't think Lerena's looking at Cieslak at all. I think Lerena's playing it safe and wants to just kind of play it safe until he has to take a risk against a champion and go for a world title. So I don't see this one. And then number 10 is the undefeated WBA super champion Arsen Goulamirian. Goulamirian's looking for top-end competition. He wants to fight. I think he wants to fight the top guys. He wants to prove himself. He's got the world title. Nobody seems to really want to face him. He's undefeated. So I think it's possible that Cieslak could say, hey, fuck it, I'll fight him. I fought Makabu close enough. Why not? So I think from that standpoint, it's possible. For some reason, I'm going to lean towards the less likely. I think Gulamirian is probably going to want to stay in-house in the WBA and face one of their higher-ranked contenders or the regular champion and try to set something up there. But, again, I wouldn't completely rule it out because Cieslak is a top 10 guy. And he could prove himself. You know, Makabu barely got by Cieslak. So Gulamirian could go in. What if he knocks Cieslak out? What if he beat him more impressively? That would move him up the rankings and move him towards the middle of the top 10 and likely the top 5, especially since Makabu's sitting there. So that's it. Running through the top 10 for Michal Cieslak. Personally, what do I think he's going to do next? I really think it's going to be some kind of an eliminator because he's ranked in the he's ranked WBC's number 2 contender. I think he's going to see what Makabu, the champion, decides he wants to do next. Right now, at the BISO, Mushunu is ranked number 1 ahead of him. He's coming off a win over former champ Denis Lebedev. That's why he's ranked number 1. Now, Makabu knocked Mushunu out years ago in like 2015 in a contenders bout when Mushunu was winning the fight. This is around the 10th round. It was a close fight. It was pretty even. I think Mushunu might have been slightly ahead, and Makabu knocked him out in the 11th round of that fight. So would Makabu want to face his number 1 contender again, or would he want to face whoever, take a shot at somebody else, make an optional defense, and force Mushunu to face him? If that's what he decides to do, Makabu, then Mushunu would face Michal Cieslak, and the winner would get a rematch with Makabu. I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't think he's going to go straight to the world title, but he could. But I really think there's a chance that that Cieslak gets a rematch with I think there's a chance he's going to get into a final eliminator next, is what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes after a tune-up bout, but I don't think he needs to, being the WBC's number 2 contender. So we'll see. Anything's wide open in the Cruiserweight division. I do like Cieslak. I feel like he threw his heart out there in that fight with Makabu, and he should get right back at it. He's got nothing to hang his head about. All right, guys, that's it. That's the what's next on my number 6 Cruiserweight in the world, Michal Cieslak. I hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.